Hey boys and girls, Mrs. Squiers here. Today we're going to be talking about attributes, and attributes describe different 2D shapes. So the first thing you do is you look at the different shapes that I have here and you put a name to them. So this is your square, rectangle, triangle, and trapezoid. So over here I have all the vocabulary that you need to describe each one of these shapes. And they're called attributes. You just have to describe them. So let's start with the square. And looking at my vocabulary over here, I know it's a two-dimensional shape, and that's all we need to do in third grade is two-dimensional shapes. So a square can be described as a 2D shape. Then I go to my next vocabulary word, square, and I know that it's called a square, so I'm going to name it square. Now I go to my next word, triangle. Well, I know a triangle is down here and it has 3 sides. Now let's count our sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that it's not a triangle. And now we go to parallelogram. Now, parallelogram, and I have to go back to the homework helper, which you should be looking at each night because it tells you what a parallelogram is. A quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel. Well, then let's go to quadrilateral first to see if my square is a quadrilateral. And a quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides. So let's count our sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that this is a quadrilateral. Okay. So now I go back to my homework helper and I say, okay, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel. So we know a square is a quadrilateral. Let's check out opposite sides. Are these opposite sides parallel? Will they go on forever without crossing or intersecting? And yes, it will. So we know this is a parallelogram. Let's move my shapes down a little bit so I can finish parallelogram. Now we talked about sides. This square has 4 sides, so I could add that as an attribute. Opposite, we talked about opposite sides. Corners. We look at the square, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. We could do that as an attribute. Angles. The inside right here are angles. So the outside are corners, the inside are angles, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. And on a square has 4 right angles, where you can see these 2 sides come together to form a right angle. And the last word down here, a polygon. A polygon is any closed shape. So all of these are polygons because they are a closed shape. So that is just the square's attributes. Now we'll go on and do the triangle attributes, rectangle, and a trapezoid.